Everybody needs a tablet in their modern day lives, and SEAC have a new dive computer which is named the SEAC tablet, but don't worry, it's not the size of an actual tablet, expecting you to strap that to your wrist. Hi all of you awesome scuba divers out there, welcome to the Scuba Diver Magazine channel, your favourite place for the latest scuba diving news and gear reviews. Yes, SEAC's latest generation dive computer is what I like to call a small large screen dive computer. It's a really neat sized little machine that is large enough that you can see the information clearly and plenty of it, and yet it's small that it never feels clunky on the wrist. But first of all, let's take a look at how it arrives and what comes with it in the box. This is how it arrives, in a little cardboard box. The cardboard box is quite sort of interesting because it shows that it comes in two different colours, a blue and this one here, which is kind of a grey colour. Bluetooth, bungee included, which I'll show you in a second, and you got the item codes and whatnot on the back. Inside, you get the computer itself, which we'll see in a second, and the traditional book of words, a CE statement, a tightness test, a little pressure indicator. It gives you a little printout of when they tested it, which is pretty cool. That is what I'm most excited for, which is a bungee strap mechanism. So if you don't like a traditional watch strap, you can actually have it fitted to a bungee strap quite easily, because they have these little spring bars that that you can use. You don't need tools with them. They've got this little like toggle on the side that you can just use a fingernail. So that's quite nice. A book on the just a user manual in a bunch of different languages. So yeah, let's take a closer look at the computer itself. The body of the machine measures 67 millimeters across, 63 millimeters down, and 19 millimeters deep from the wrist. But some of that is sort of protection from the recessed screen. The screen is just pulled back a little bit, so if you're scraping up or you accidentally scrape against something, it's less likely to scratch the screen itself, just this protective outer barrier. Including the straps, it weighs in at just under 130 grams, which is negligible on the wrist. The body is made from plastic, but it never feels plasticky like some cheaper dive computers. It actually has a premium feel to it and real great finishing all the way around. The straps that come with it are really nice and chunky. I prefer thicker straps on my dive computers, especially in colder waters, because they're much easier to use if you're wearing gloves without like fear of pulling them and snapping them. They're also quick change, which is a great feature. A small spring bar in the strap can be activated with a fingernail to remove and replace the strap easily without needing any tools. You can just do it on the go. Use a replaceable CR2450 battery on the back, is good for 600 dives or about 2 years, depending on how much you use the computer. And it's a pair of simple Phillips screws just holding that in place. So it is something that you can do. It's always best to get a replacement O-ring though as well. 2-button user interface with a series of button presses and button holds let you navigate the dive computer. And the screen itself is an LCD screen with a partial dot matrix in the center for better legibility. In the center, as opposed to just a segment display, on the top and the bottom, you get these tiny little dots and they help to spell things out much more legibly. This classic LCD screen doesn't require a lot of power, which is why it has such a good battery life. For diving in the dark, the tablet has a backlight that you can activate by pressing the left button. Inside, you have scuba mode that you can install up to 3 gas mixes at a time, from 21% air all the way up to 99% nitrox. Scuba uses the Bjornmann's ZHL16C algorithm, which is one of the most prevalent algorithms used by a lot of other dive computers today. The freediving mode provides comprehensive freediving data such as dive surface time and current maximum depth. The gauge mode includes a dedicated depth gauge and a stopwatch for when you don't want the algorithm. You just want to use the tablet to function as a bottom timer, basically. And there's also an off mode that can be used to set the stopwatch for like static apnea. You can take it in the water, but it's not going to be sort of recording any kind of depth, but it will be, you can use that as a stopwatch. Wireless air integration and Bluetooth are very impressive to see. You can pair the tablet to up to 3 wireless air transmitters that you can connect to your regulators to see how much gas is left in each tank on your dive computer, as well as alerts to dropping pressures and other features. Bluetooth allows you to connect your tablet to a smart device and download dive data from the built-in logbook. The built-in logbook records 65 hours of dive time before it starts overwriting the oldest dives, and that drops down to 24 hours of free diving history because of the increased sample rate of free diving. It's basically recording more information per second compared to scuba. And that can all be sent over via built-in Bluetooth, or there's an optional USB cable if you prefer or require an actual cable. The tablet has a recommended retail price of £360 right now, which puts it in some pretty good company, and the Bluetooth and the wireless are great features to see at this price point, as well as that dot matrix on the screen. So who's the tablet for? The tablet dive computer is a solid all-rounder for beginner to professional divers. The lack of trimix keeps it in the recreational diving range, but 3 gas mixes for nitrox and the transmitters gives you plenty of flexibility in your diving. And if you ever progress onto something like a rebreather, there's the gauge mode that will allow you for that. Free diving and everything, it opens up a lot of doors. A good sized screen in a compact body is handy for all divers, especially those with failing eyesight. If you can't quite get on with the really small watch size dive computers, but you don't want something big and clunky like a large screen, this is somewhere in between. I prefer dive computers with replaceable batteries like this one because of their longevity, not only because you only change like a small button battery every now and then, every year or so, but the dive computer itself will continue to function from years to come. I'd be very happy to have it as my main dive computer, and because it has that Buellmann algorithm inside of it, it will match most dive profiles with many other dive computer models out there, meaning that your dive buddy's computer is probably going to be on a 𝐬𝐻L16 and should give very similar information during the dive. There's going to be a link to our affiliate dive shop near you down in the description, and you can click on this one up here in the corner as well. Otherwise, you can head over to our website divernet.com and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube for more videos. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.